I think it's anyone's guess because the investigations are still going on. But if you look at the trend that's been building up since Taliban came to power in Afghanistan, TTP has engaged in lots of militant activities. The incidence of these activities has increased manifold compared to even 2020. And on lots of occasions, they have taken the responsibility. So the fact that they have retracted their claim could mean different things. One is that they don't want to get caught in a situation where the Taliban government tells them that they should really contain their activities in Pakistan, or it could be that they want someone else to take the blame. Another possibility is that there are factions within TTP, those who are not happy with the Pakistan government in not proceeding with the arrangements that Imran Khan was trying to put in place, and they have made this decision. But it's really at a very early stage for us to say whether it really was TTP or whether it was Islamic State Khorasan or whether it was a breakaway faction, either of TTP or ISK.
Well, the large number of police officers at the mosque at the time of the attack has led some to suspect that they were the target.
I think it's very clear that they were the target, but it's not just simply the police, because the precinct where it happened, it actually has a lot of people who are engaged in law enforcement activities. For example, counterterrorism department, the lead force, also the Frontier Corps and the police, and the SP was there as well. So there is one thing is very clear. It fits in within the pattern that militant groups like ISK or ISIS before and TTP in the past have adopted. What they've done is that in order to have a sort of a cascading impact on the people, they start targeting law enforcement agencies, and then they even target judiciary, politicians, and that creates a sense of fear among the ordinary citizens. So the fact that they have targeted police and other law enforcement agencies fits that pattern, and they've been engaged in it even recently. For example, they occupied one of the stations where it took some time for the Pakistan government to get them be vacated. So it is the police, but it's law enforcement in general. But I think overall, it's really the public that they're trying to frighten as well.
What have some of the survivors said about the attack and what happened? What have been some of the first-hand accounts?
Well, there's one account that came up with somebody who was just trying to get to the place, and he suddenly saw smoke, and when he came back to his senses, he saw the roof collapsing, and that's really the reason why a number of people have been killed. So far, it's already gone up to 92, and there are a number of people who are already in hospital. But again, these stories are going to come out slowly, because at the moment, focus is really on trying to make sure that whatever has happened has to be taken into account, and the building to be cleared so that they know how many other people have been caught under the concrete.
The rubble, yeah.
So it's a work in progress.
How shocking is this attack, though, to Pakistanis, the fact that a mosque was targeted?
Well, it's very shocking, not just because it was the mosque, because mosques have been targeted even before. Sorry. And what happens is that Shias are targeted by Sunni groups, or other mosques are targeted because certain people are seen as threatening the call to normalcy among the jihadis and telling them there's another version. So as such, attack on a mosque is something which sadly seen as common occurrence. Even a few weeks ago, I think there was a similar attack on a Shia mosque. But where the difficulty comes in, or where the seriousness of this comes in, is that if you compare to the Army public school massacre that took place in 2014, where people went and killed lots of young kids, somehow Pakistanis had forgotten that, because the wave of terrorism that was so rampant was brought under control. But since Taliban have come to power in Afghanistan, and since they've adopted a very mixed policy, of saying that they can't contain Taliban, they're not really supporting them, and then also not being very collegial vis-a-vis Pakistan. There has been an increase in the incidents. And I think what's shocking is that it's again happened in Peshawar, and it's that happened in the police area, very protected, where people say that at least you have to cross two patrol lines from which you can actually get into the precinct. That creates a fear, and it's the number of people that have been suddenly killed is very huge. So it's reminding people of APS massacre, but also the realization that Pakistan, as they had started coming to enjoy, is again sliding backwards in terms of the occurrence of terrorist attacks. So that's a very sad development.
Interesting analysis. Samina Yasmeen, thank you so much for joining us.
My pleasure. Thank you.